Rich people love telling you that everything is your fault. And by everything, I mostly mean your financial struggles. And you probably yourself heard one of those famous billionaires saying things like, if you are so smart, why aren't you rich? Or no one forces you to work for McDonald's or another shitty company. And in this video, I'm going to briefly dismantle the whole hypocrisy of this narrative and general bullshitism, if I can call it this way, of their narrative that they are using to gaslight you and to preserve their cute, cozy, comfortable capitalist system. And first I want to touch a couple of psychological points of why they are so persistent in this narrative, why they are trying so hard to put everything on your shoulders, like you cannot find a good job, it's your fault, you are not trying too hard, you are not satisfied with your salary, it's because you don't work so hard, and things like that. Why they are so enthusiastic about this kind of discourse? Well, first of all, you should know that most of the people are genuinely believe that they are good at heart and they can be good people. Even billionaires, millionaires, most of them, except psychopaths, that the concentration of psychopaths is higher in elites, by the way, but it's another story. But still, most of them are genuinely good people, deep inside. People who believe they are good. People who genuinely think that they are doing great for society. Things like that. So you should understand that. Most of them don't think of themselves as evil. Okay? So this is one thing. And then there is another fact that millionaires, billionaires who say this kind of stuff, they are the main beneficiaries of the system, main beneficiaries of this aggressive capitalism that you guys in USA are having, and that in general Western world are kind of built upon, right? So to see with full eyes open, without pink glasses, that the system is corrupted in many ways, that the system is not just, that the system is unfair, it would clash with their own personal identity as a good person, a person who wishes well. So they have a big psychological resistance to really look at the system in an unbiased way, because they are super biased and they want, each of us indeed want to preserve our identity as of a good person. So it's one of the primary psychological needs. So they are, by telling that everything is your fault, your economic problems, they are doing two things. First of all, they are persuading themselves that they are good people and that what they have, they deserve, and that what you have, you also deserve. And secondly, it lets them to reduce the empathy, the human empathy that most of the people, except psychopaths, are having. So if they persuade themselves rationally that it's your fault, they can sleep calmer, while a lot of people still struggling to pay bills, a lot of people are on the verge of being evicted, and that in general world is not in a good place. So this is one thing. They want to preserve their identity as a nice, good person. And they can truly believe that. But it's just self-deception. And another thing, also psychological one, is that they belong to the elites. And there is a group identity of these people, of the millionaires, people who are having the highest influence in society. And imagine, even if one of them would have enough of self-awareness and bravery to look at the system and to see, yeah, it's flawed. Yes, I'm taking advantage of this unfair situation. they still would have a huge pressure not to go against the main narrative that these capitalist dogs have created. Because it's dangerous if one of your people will just come out and start criticizing all of the system, potentially creating risky situation and unstable situation for all of their millionaire friends. Because if you normal average people will, instead of questioning yourself, your own worth, the way you work, and you will start questioning the system, it's getting fucking dangerous. They're not going to let this kind of discourses flourish just so easily. So there is also pressure of maintain group identity that you belong to, of these rich motherfuckers, and some of them are probably good people. And now let's get to the couple of structural points that will basically dismantle all of this bullshit of the discourse that your financial struggles are exclusively your fault. Why it's bullshit? Well, because these millionaires who are promoting this narrative, what they are ignoring? They are ignoring a very simple, basic, super clear as a day fact about capitalism. And this fact is that under this system there is not enough golden spots for everyone. And saying golden spots, I'm not even talking about being super rich. Obviously it's very small, but I'm talking about just belonging to a solid middle class with assets. Impossible for everyone. Impossible. Even if all of you guys will start listening to those billionaires who are saying you just have to work hard to learn more, to grow personally, even if all of you will start to work 24/7, you will stop sleeping, you will go and take all of the courses to develop yourself personally, to develop your skills and knowledges, you all will not be able to reach the satisfactory level of your economy status. Impossible, because even the good middle class is still limited structurally. Not because these people are bad, it's because how system works. Why? Well, because if everyone achieved relatively good wealth, or not even wealth, just not to have a situation where they don't have debts, where they have bank account that allows them to travel regularly and just to live comfortably, what would happen? The key profit sources for the whole system, which are basically cheap labor, yeah, which you and me, we belong to this food for the system. So cheap labor, high margins and rent extraction, they would shrink dramatically. If everyone would live well, the margins of benefits for these corporations, it would get really small. And the system is not designed for your well-being. Capitalism is designed to maximize the profit. These owners of the corporations, stakeholders, they don't work for your satisfaction, for the well-being of society. Well, they try to convince themselves. They work to maximize the profits, to grow their wealth as much as they can. That's the whole logic of the system. So the system needs poverty. System needs underclass, because it's the food for the economy. They need people who are unemployed or precariously employed, which are probably most of the people with basic salary. This way they make sure that there's always will be someone who is ready to do your job 20% less, with 20% smaller salary, for example. They are interested in people without savings, because this way you will be scared to lose your job, because you will need it for survival. So the system is not designed for everyone to succeed. Impossible. This is the main argument that basically dismantle the whole bullshit narrative about but just try harder. Whatever. If we all try super hard, there's still the system is not designed to make the resources more or less evenly distributed according to each person's what they contribute to the society, their work. Absolutely not. And the people on the top, believe me, I mean, they are really disproportionately wealthy. Their salaries are disproportional to their real work, because there is no situation on earth that would be possible that a CEO of whatever company is working like million times harder than a doctor or a teacher. That's ridiculous. So the distribution of wealth is unfair. That's it. So yeah, this is the first structural argument that invalidates all of their gaslighting narrative. And there is also another point that all of these rich people who are discussing the problems of poor, that they are conveniently forgetting. And it's the brutal structural inequality of initial point in which we are coming to this world. And I think it's not a secret for anyone that we are all born into very different families with different income in different countries as well. But even if we are not talking about someone who born in Nigeria, they definitely will have way less opportunities in life than someone born, let's say, in Switzerland. But also within the same country, you probably know that it's not the same being born in the center of New York with wealthy parents than being born somewhere in a small village in Texas. These two people will have very, very different opportunities in life. Absolutely not comparable. And it's very easy for these rich people discussing all of these things, telling you that it's just you have to work harder, you have to put in brain and blah 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 blah. While in most cases, absolute majority of them, being born into the wealth with rich parents who already had money for everything, to give the best education in private schools to these kids, to pay for the best universities. Their parents already had connection in this elite world. Basically, these rich people who are telling you that it's your fault, your struggles, they've been born into the situation where their life been arranged. They've been just already coming into the celebration, basically, and all that they need to do is just to have a good mental health and not to get addicted to the hard drugs. They can enjoy their lives. It's not the case for most of us, absolutely not. So ignoring this objective limitation and ignoring the real ceilings that are not letting most of us to go through the levels and from poverty jump into the wealth, it's really funny. Because, well, you probably know that the system is designed to preserve itself. Rich people study with rich people. They marry each other, and the connections are still preserved in the same circle of people, same circle of wealth. Yes, sometimes there are a few exceptions who can break through because they had a lot of, motivation, enthusiasm, they put on work, and they had luck to be in the right place, in the right moment. But these are exceptions. This is not normality. And it doesn't mean that this person who managed to change their economic status from being born into the absolute poverty and become rich, it doesn't mean that you don't have the same qualities, or you don't have potential, or you don't deserve. No, it just means this person was more lucky, and there are very, very, very few people who will be lucky, because the system is designed to show off these cases, but they don't tell how often it happens. Very rarely, very rarely. It's just to distract attention. But most of us will not have this, just because how system is working. And I want to finish on a positive note and say that no matter in what situation you are in, no matter what struggles you have to face day to day, I hope that you will care about the most expensive thing that we have in life, and it's not money, it's not assets, it's people who genuinely love us. I hope that you will always have someone around you who actually gives a shit about you, who actually cares. It can be your family, your friends, your beloved one. I wish you this first of all.